Okay guys, this may be a little disorganized because I didn't really plan on it, but I decided to show it to you anyway. If you're watching this video, you probably either have a 6.9 liter or a 7.3 liter diesel, non-turbo IDI. I do not know what else this works on. But there is a problem with these engines. The problem is the glow plugs stick in the heads. The glow plugs go bad, and you end up you can't get them out of the head. They swell up and they go bad. Well, I've got a Ford van here that I use for service calls, and the way that I drive, my dog wants to kill a bunny badly, and she's driving me crazy. So I will be right back. Okay, well, I didn't mean for the fader to go on, but it did. All right, now that that's over and the dog is safely back in the house again, let's try one more time. I'm not sure where I left off, but let's try again. The problem with these engines, after they've been run a while, is the glow plugs stick in the head. This is not fun. You can end up breaking the end of the glow plug off and having to pull the head to remove it. I have a van here that I use for service, and I start it 10 times a day. I'll drive it 5 miles and then I'll start it. I'll drive it 5 more miles, shut it off, start it. The thing with Ford is, in their infinite wisdom, and someone told me this had to do with the EPA, they decided that the glow plugs were going to cycle every single time the vehicle was started. When the engine's warm, you don't need to start the vehicle. You don't need to run the glow plugs every single time. It's unnecessary, but that's the way it's wired. This causes premature glow plug failure. So I've done something here to basically cure this. At least I hope it cures it, and I'll show you what it is. Okay, let me see if I've got it focused so I can get it in there. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'm going to try to put a light on it. There we go. This, right there, is a hot water heater thermostat. That water heater thermostat, there's a piece of silver tape on the bottom of it to seal it from the weather. It is tied with a piece of wire to a wiring harness. The red wire off of the glow plug controller is connected to it. This is the power wire going into the glow plug controller. And then leaving it is another wire that connects to the glow plug controller. This does a really neat thing. What this allows me to do is, when I first start the engine in the morning, this thermostat will allow power to go to the glow plug controller. But once the engine bay temperature reaches 100 degrees, it kills power to the glow plug controller. That basically means is, first thing in the morning, I get glow plugs, and the rest of the day, I don't get glow plugs. Only one cycling of the glow plugs instead of 20 cyclings of the glow plugs. It's going to make the glow plugs last a lot longer, and it's just an electric water heater thermostat. It isn't any more complex than that. All right? Now, there's a couple things about this you need to know. Number one, it's not foolproof. This has been in here since last fall, and I can tell you for a fact that, I'm just looking at my time, I'm sorry. I can tell you for a fact that in the wintertime, there have been occasions where I've started the engine during the middle of the day and the radiator has been cooled off. When this happens, you're liable to have the glow plug cycle in the middle of driving it. Basically, the engine bay cools down, the hot water heater thermostat closes, and the glow plugs cycle on. This doesn't happen that often, but it is a problem. The second thing is like this morning. That's the reason why the engine bay is open. I drove this late last night. It was set on 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And this morning, even though it was cool outside, the engine bay hadn't cooled down enough to allow me to have glow plugs. And I needed them. So basically I had to crank and crank and crank this thing until it started. Not that many cranks, but I still had to crank it to start it. So that's why I've opened the engine bay today. I readjusted it from the 90 degrees to the 95 degrees or a little higher. I'll give it a try tomorrow. Again, it won't cure everything. It's adaptable to other systems. You have to know how your system works. You have to know where the power is. You have to know if it's tied into your main computer control for your vehicle. You know, there are lots of variables here, but it's an idea. And in my case, the idea works. So I thought I would make a video about this so that you guys could see this, and maybe you can make use of it and save a few glow plugs. Alrighty? Thanks so much. Take care.